One negative review can cost you thousands of dollars in sales, and here's how you get it removed in the next 48 hours. I'm going to be showing you 5 proven methods to remove Google reviews. If you don't know who I am, my name is Munir. I run Vipsa Studio. It is a local services marketing agency. We have proudly generated over $12 million in client revenue for all of our clients, and I'm here to share you our sauce in hopes of you becoming our client one day. Let's get right into it. So here are the circumstances for when you can get a review removed. The first one is that if it's a fake customer, so it's clearly from someone who you've never done business with, you may stand a chance here. If it is an ex-employee, you have a chance of getting it removed. If it is a local competitor, if there are tons of one-star reviews all at once to try to destroy your credibility, these can get removed pretty instantly because it's very obvious to Google. If there's any policy violation, so if it contains any profanity, personal information, or hate speech, then you have a chance of getting it removed. And if it's spam or off topic, you also have a chance of getting it removed. So before you do anything, you should always respond to the review because it could take a few days up until the review actually gets removed. So you need to respond because that review is sitting there publicly for everyone to see while you're getting it taken care of. If you leave it for a few days and you don't respond to it, you're showing potential customers and clients that you don't care enough to actually take care of this issue because that's all they see. All they see is just a negative review with no answer to it. So you need to take the time to respond to it right away. So here's how you respond. I know you're probably very frustrated, but you need to stay calm and professional even if you're pissed off. Don't get defensive or argue too much, especially on text. You want to seem like you're professional, that you handle things well. You want to acknowledge their concern and offer to resolve it and keep it short and straight to the point. If you are not sure what to say, copy their review and put it into ChatGPT and then tell it that you want a response following the negative review that's posted on my Google Business profile, who has never been a client to my business, or just explain the situation and use a courteous tone and then paste in the review under it. You can use GPT suggestion as a starting point and then customize it to make it sound more like you or to make it sound a bit more straightforward. So now that you've responded to the review, what you need to do next is you need to flag the review directly. So this is the quickest way to do it. So you want to go to this URL. You want to go to business.google.com/locations, and then you're going to see every single location that you have. So you're going to see businesses, Google Business Profile Manager. Here it's going to list every single business. And then on the right, you're going to see this button called See Your Profile. Then you want to click into that one. Once you're there, you're going to see a screen like this. Then you want to click on Read Reviews. Once you do that, you're going to see a whole list of all the reviews. You want to find the negative one and then press on this icon right here to actually report it. And then you need to select the reason that makes the most sense given what they said. So these are the different violation categories. So there's spam if it's obviously from a fake account. There's conflict of interest if it's a competitor. There's profanity if they use curse words. You can use bullying or harassment if they attacked one of your employees specifically. You can use discrimination or hate speech if it's pretty self-explanatory, like if they said something negative. If they shared any personal information, you can use a personal information option. So if they shared anyone's address or phone, you have a pretty good grounds to report it. And if it's off topic, so it doesn't relate to any actual experience. I found that if the review doesn't actually fit into one of the categories, you can report it as off topic. In my experience, reviews that are reported as off topic have a higher chance of being removed unless there's a very specific violation. Once you choose the right reason, then you're going to see this. It says this review has been reported to Google, and then it says you need to wait at least 3 business days. So this method works. However, it only works if the review clearly violates Google's guidelines. If the violation isn't that obvious, usually Google will not remove it. And that's where you need to use method 2. So method 2 is to use Google's review removal tool. So if you Google review tool, you should see this link right here that says manage your Google business reviews, and you want to click into this link. Once you log in, you'll see your list of businesses. Then you want to select yours. So this is all the different businesses that we manage. Let's say I'm working on this one. So you want to click on this one and then press on continue right there. Once you get to this screen, what you want to do is you want to say report the new review for removal. After you do that, you're going to see a list of every single review that you have under your business. And then what you want to do is you want to click on the report button on the right for whichever one you want to report. And then you'll see another list of reasons that you can choose to report a review. These are all those. You have off-topic spam, conflict of interest, profanity, harmful, bullying, harassment, discrimination, personal information. It's similar to the old one. And then once you've actually flagged that review, you'll be able to see the status of the report. When you go back, you can press on check the status of a review that I've reported and my appeal options. You can press on continue. And then you can see the status of every single report that you've done here. You can see it either say decision pending or escalated or something else. So these are the 3 statuses that you can see under this section right here. So there's 3 different ones. The first one is it'll say decision pending. So that means Google is still reviewing it. The second one is report reviewed, no policy violation. So Google Google decided that it doesn't violate the policies and they won't accept you removing it. And then the third one is escalated. So check your email for updates. So your appeal has been escalated, and then you'll get a decision via email of what actually happened next. So if you got this one, it says report reviewed, no policy violation, then you can head on to method number 3, which is actually to appeal Google's decision. So up until now, whenever you reported a review, you don't actually get a chance to explain why it should be removed. You just pick a category and then submit. But with this third method, you actually get to provide context and evidence as to why that review should be removed. So this is where you can say that this is a competitor trying to hurt my business, or I've never worked with this person, or it's a fake review, or this person is review bombing multiple businesses. So on that same stream where it says the status of every single review, at the bottom, it'll say, what would you like to do with your reviews? And then you can say appeal eligible reviews. And then you want to press on continue. And then you'll see a screen where you'll be able to select what review specifically you want to appeal. Once you selected it, it's going to ask you to confirm, and then you can press on submit an appeal right there. And then you'll see a screen like this. So it says request removal of inappropriate reviews. And then it's going to ask you to type in the name of the policy that you suspect the review is violating. You click on this button and it'll show you the list of policies again. And then it'll ask you, so this is where you can explain yourself and say why you think the policy should be removed. And then you'll see this box right here. So this is why do you think the policy is violated by the review in question. So here's where you can actually explain yourself. And then if you have any documents, you can include them here and then confirm that the information is accurate, then press submit. Once you click on this policy button right here, it's going to give you an even longer list of all the different policies that you can use. You can use GPT to help you figure out what policy that you should write in as you submit your appeal. In that second box, what you want to do is you want to explain why the review violates Google's policies. If you have any evidence, if you have any screenshots, emails, or proof that you've never worked with this person, you want to include that there as well, and upload any other supporting document that'll help you with this case. So that's method 3. Then there's method 4. So if you actually know the customer, this is a real customer, what we've seen people do is they actually call the customer and try to resolve it with them that way. This is the only way to actually get the review removed from the person, not from Google directly. So this person actually had a bad experience with your business. Maybe it wasn't that justified and you don't think it was a fair reason. You can still try to call them, email them, or text them, or even show up at their door if you actually did like a big project for them and try to work it out with them, apologize, and try to make it right. Maybe even offer a refund if you're able to, and try to redo the job. Try to do whatever it takes to try to get that negative review removed. I've seen business owners spend thousands of dollars trying to make an unhappy customer happy just to get them remove that 1-star negative review. Sometimes it's worth it, depends on how many reviews you can get in total. If you have a 1 bad review, but you know that month you can get like 50 or 60 good reviews, then I wouldn't focus on it that much. But if you have like a higher ticket business and everyone is kind of reading your reviews more, in depth, then I would try to go the lengths to try to get it fixed. One negative review at the top of your profile can cost you way more than a few $1,000s in lost business. So I would really, try to assess to see if I can try to get this fixed, depending on how many reviews I get every single month. But if the review is fake, obviously then this won't work. That's when you need to move to method 5. Method 5 is to actually post in the Google Business Profile support community. So if you want to get to it, what you want to do is you want to Google Business Profile Help Community, and then you want to press on this first link right there. You're going to see this screen right here. Then you can say post a question. That's this button right there. If you already have the case, you want to make sure you want to enter in the case ID. You can enter it in the case ID here, and then you want to explain the situation again. Say, I have this bad experience, I have this person leaving a negative review, or I have this bot. You want to explain yourself publicly in this section right here. So what will happen next is one of the moderators might escalate your case directly to Google. This sometimes gets reviews removed that were previously denied. It's not a guarantee though. It's kind of more up in the air. You're kind of leaving your chances because you've done everything that you can, but it's worked for a lot of people when everything else has failed. So if nothing works at all, because nothing is actually guaranteed, you at least want to respond professionally, which is why I said that in step 1, you want to ensure that for as long as that negative review is there, that your response is up there publicly as well. A calm, professional response to a negative review can actually make you look better than having all 5-star reviews, because people now know that you are a legit business, you have had bad experiences, but maybe it was just a bad customer and you handled it well. If nothing works, what you also need to do is you want to bury that negative review with more positive reviews. The more positive reviews you have overall, the less impact that one bad review will have on your overall rating. What you also want to do is you want to get new reviews with photos. So Google prioritizes reviews with photos and pushes those reviews to the top. So what you want to do is you want to encourage your happy customers to leave reviews with photos of the finished work, or if anything, those will stay at the top and will push the negative reviews down at the bottom. And last thing is that you'll never always maintain a perfect 5-star rating. It's very, very normal to dip down to 4.9, even 4.8. And it's actually kind of an ideal situation to not have the perfect 5-star rating. Research shows that a 4.8 star rating is actually the most convincing. When you have only 5-star reviews, some people get suspicious. They think that they're fake, or you kind of ask your friends for review. No business is perfect, and most people inherently know that. So when they see a 4.9 or a 4.8, but it has like hundreds or thousands of reviews, then they're more likely to actually believe that it is real. So that's all for this video today. If you need help with your Google Business Profile, I have a whole team dedicated to this, so you can book a call with my team. First link in the description, and I'll talk to you guys later.